This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So as I was just telling before, Power BI is a very powerful tool. It has come as a replacement to its Microsoft Excel from Microsoft, because Excel cannot go beyond 1 million records. And if you want to handle huge large databases and data warehouses, you need to somewhere have a more powerful tool wherein Power BI will come effective. In Power BI, it's just not that you will connect data, you will do visualizations. You will do a lot of data cleansing, data modification, data transformation. You will build insights out of it. You can share reports online to your higher level, like CTOs, CXOs, and all. They even when you share this report on server, they can check on their mobile. That link they can click on the mobile and it will be supported in mobile as well. And they can see directly insights like how many sales, in which month, what kind of sale had happened, what is the profit that we are making, and where we are lacking, what is the product that it is selling the least, if you are seeing, if we are a superstore like we saw in the demo. And Power BI has a license for everything. So you get a desktop version which is free. You get a pro version which is around different price across different regions. If you're in US, you have to pay a different price. If you're in India, you need to pay a different price. There is a difference in each and every license of Power BI that we will go and see in the direct Microsoft website. And connecting to multiple sources, if you see, many legacy companies still they are using either CSV files or flat files or Excel sheets to connect to any visualization tool, and then they draw few insights. But few companies which are well versed in technology, they have transformed all the data into databases, and that databases they directly connect to Power BI and make insights using databases. And once you make insights, it is very easy to share, as I told you. And 10 years back, if you ask me, all the softwares we used to install on our local machine or on the virtual machines. But now everything is in cloud. Even Power BI has something called as Microsoft Fabric, wherein you can directly get Power BI on Microsoft Fabric also. That is kind of a cloud platform, and you would have already known, or this is first time for you. Azure is the main cloud platform from Microsoft. AWS is from Amazon. GCP is for Google. Those are completely different topics. Maybe we will not cover that. And Power BI is a simple and fast enough tool to connect to an Excel or a local database. And it can provide you robust, extensive real-time analytics. Okay. And Power BI is a Microsoft product, has built-in connections to Excel, and there are many functions that will be similar to an Excel user. When you look at a Microsoft Power BI interface, my feeling is that I am working on a just powerful Excel sheet, because it is very similar to how the ribbon looks, how the canvas is. When you put in a table into Power BI, it is very similar to what we see on Excel, but it is just a powerful tool from Microsoft. If we go into Power BI further, one second, is there? Okay, nothing. As I told you, we have Power BI desktop. So let's go to Microsoft and see what is the pricing that they are providing for Power BI. If you want to install Power BI on your local machine, that is for free. You can do that. I'll open Power BI in the meanwhile. And where you can download Power BI is, you need to just type in as Power BI download in Google. Once you type that, go into this first hyperlink. If you are using a Windows machine, just go, you can go either click on download directly or click on advanced download options. Then select your preferable language and just click on download. It will automatically download. And once it downloads, we just need to click on multiple next buttons and it will be installed within 2-3 minutes. And this file, that download file, will be around 461 GB MB. And it's very simple. Uh, if we if you are working on a machine, Amina, I would encourage tomorrow you log in into your machine. We will install the Power BI on your machine so that we will work this as a practical session wherein I'll give you some kind of assignments once we progress into sessions, and you can also practice, or I will also show how to connect to a file, how to play with a file, how can we transform the data, so it is easy and you will be hands-on with Power BI instead of just a theoretical lesson for us. So this is how Power BI desktop looks like. Once you install Power BI, you just need to go to your Windows search button, type it as Power BI. This will show as an app, and then this is the application how it looks. And Power BI, especially Microsoft products, they keep on updating the products pretty soon. So every 1 2 weeks there will be some updates, or once in a month definitely there will be some kind of update. So what will happen, no, at the bottom, I installed this on the other day only. At the bottom you will get something called, there is a update available for Power BI. So if you have installed in a way like I showed you, just like going into downloads, click on download, what will happen? You need to download this again and just go through the procedure of next, next, next. It will automatically install. Or you can go to Microsoft Store from your machine, and then you can search in for Power BI here also. Okay? You can download and install from here. What is Power BI desktop you can take? And what is the difference between installing from the website directly and installing from Microsoft Store is that when there is an update, when you install through Microsoft Store, it will automatically update the Microsoft Power BI. But when you install it through the website link of Microsoft, you need to go again whenever there is an update to install the latest further updates. So Microsoft Store, it will automatically update like we do on Google Play Store on our mobiles. And then Microsoft website, when you download, you need to install every time the Power BI whenever there is an update. What kind of updates would be there? It might be some new introduction, or it might be very simple one also. Like sometimes what they will do, instead of visualizations button showing here, they might show on the top. 2 3 years back, if you would have seen, the visualization wouldn't have been here. It would have been on the top or somewhere. And they will change the buttons from here and there. Might be it is because of the feedback that they get from the users. They do enhancements, and it doesn't make much of a difference. And to be very honest with you, until unless there is a new introduction or a new button or a new enhancement or a new feature that Microsoft is giving in Power BI, it doesn't matter if you update. But and if you are asking me my honest opinion, if you are learning for the first month, just don't update it, because you need to see the same button every day on the same place. Otherwise you will get confused all of a sudden why this button is missing. Okay, so always install for a single month the same Power BI. And why updates become very important, especially, is so when we are working on any visualization tool or any application or any programming language, our machines are local. Like what I install on my machine right now, it is local, and what I do on my machine is like it is my wish. And end of the day, my machine is little advanced. It can accommodate the latest version of Power BI. But when we publish anything onto the servers or a service in an office environment, what will happen? They will have a particular operating systems. So for that operating system, might be it is not that advanced because it was set up 5 years back or 4 years back. Because organizations don't pay frequently to update their operating systems. They think of long term, like 3 years back they will invest and they will maintain that for 5 years. So whether this version of Power BI is supported in the server, and if you are using any ETL tools like Alteryx or Informatica or ODI, if you're automating things on the cloud or service, what will happen? Might be the latest versions are not supported on our server. So you should be always cautious while you're publishing onto the service or server. What will happen might be the latest version is not supported. So you should be cautious, and that features will not be available to other people when they're trying to click, and they might get some errors. So you should be always cautious which version you are using. And how will you get to know what is the version that I am supposed to use in my office service or server? You will have infrastructure team. Might be you belong to development team. You will have infrastructure team. You need to speak to them before publishing onto a server or a service. What is the version of Power BI that you are supporting on the service server? If they say no, no, we don't have any problem, you can install the latest. You can go download anytime the latest version of Power BI and publish with it. But if they say no, no, we support only this particular number, and until beyond this we don't support right now, you just need to be cautious and work on that version of Power BI only. Any questions, Amina, until now?
I'm good, thank you.
Right. Awesome. So now, as I told you, there will be multiple roles. So Power BI service, and then Power BI desktop, Power BI mobile apps, and it can be used on mobile as well. And then generally, where do we start to build visualizations is on Power BI desktop. So if you are a developer, you're working in any office, what will you do? You will directly first install Power BI desktop, you will connect to data, and once you connect to data, you will transform the data, you will make visualizations, you will make some insights, and then you publish onto the server. Once you publish onto the server, what will happen? Your manager or your team who is supposed to consume this report, they will see it from the server. So when you publish this onto a server, what will happen? You will get a link. So I will show you later on once we publish it onto our my workspace. You will get a hyperlink to share. So if I am working on this, I publish this onto the server. What will happen? I can share the report link with Amina. And what will happen? No, I get to choose because I am the developer and I am the owner of this report. I get to choose whom I can share with. That is where we can control the data. If you see manage roles is an option here. So what kind of data we need to show to which person? So suppose there will be multiple teams. There is some VP of your company. They would like to see entire data, and it is good always to show the entire data to them. But if someone in specifically is working on some corporates team, or someone is working in legal team, or someone is working only in finance, we will show only data respective to their teams, because it is not needed for a person to know other teams data, and it is confidential as well. People in finance might not like to share their data with some other teams. So it is very specific to your business that you will get the data. So that all we will see how to manage or restrict the data visualization to people from multiple teams. So it is within our control, and once you publish. Okay, Amina is working along with Abhishek in the project. So what will happen if we both are the developers? Then what will I do? Once I publish onto the server, I will give Amina as well the control on the dashboard. She can also edit the dashboard. She can also publish the dashboard. But if someone is there, right now in the chat it is LK. So if that guy is just a consumer of this dashboard, I will not give him publisher access or editor access. I'll just give him view access. So what will happen? He will just have a control to view the dashboard. He will not have the access to publish the dashboard or modify the dashboard. Okay. So that is how it works. Okay. Use Power BI. Common flow of activity in Power BI looks like this. Bring data into Power BI, create a report. Publish to Power BI service when you create visualizations or build a dashboard. Share dashboards with other, especially people who are on the go. View and interact with shared dashboards and reports in Power BI mobile apps. That is what I was just speaking about. And then next topic is building blocks of Power BI. Visualization, data sets, reports, dashboard, tiles. So visualizations. So let's instead of talking theory all the time, let's take very simple data, and in this Power BI screen, let's play with the buttons that are present on the screen. Very basic. So let's take some simple customer data. Let's see what's there within that. Okay, this looks very good. Okay. This is very simple data. How many rows of data are there? It's around 1000. And what you have: first name, last name, email ID, phone number, address, gender, age, registered on, okay, orders, spent, job, hobbies, is married. Okay, awesome. And then what I will do, let's create some column which will have some junk data. One second. Ordered. Assume these people are ordering. Ours is a store from like McDonald's or something, and what they have ordered is some burger, French fries, and some chicken nuggets, and some XYZ, something random, because I want to show you how to play with data. So in between, let's put some NAs because our store people did not enter some data. And in between, let's take some blanks. Okay, right. So this is the data. This is how the data looks. Okay, let's get this data onto Power BI. In the meanwhile, someone, no, nothing. Just hearing some noise in the background. Okay, so once you open Power BI from your Windows machine, this is how it will look. So you have this big white screen here. This is called as canvas. Okay, you can import data from here as well. It is very clear. They have given the most used items on here on the screen right away. Import data from Excel, import data from SQL Server, paste data into blank table, try a sample data set. This is from the database. This is from the database. This is from flat files. So what is file button here? This is called as ribbon. The topmost is called as ribbon, and this one is file button. What you have in this file button is very similar to what we have in our Excel sheets. New Power BI dashboard, open, save as, share if you want to share the dashboard with someone, get data, import, export. So this get data is similar to this buttons over here. Okay, and even in the home also you will have get data button again. So this is kind of repetitive, but you can import the data from multiple places. So if you see here, this is the get data button. You will have similar things here. You, if you click on this get data also, you will have similar buttons, but it is for our convenience where you would like to use. So go into home button, click on this get data. You can directly choose Excel workbook because this customer's data that it is lying, this is an XLSX file. It is a workbook, Microsoft Excel workbook. So you can choose this. No, but I would like to see what is there in this more button also. Okay. Once you click on this more, okay, you have all the data sources that Power BI supports. If you see, it is around like 50, 60 sources you can connect to. The topmost is Excel, text, CSV, XML, JSON data, any particular folder that you want to bring in completely, PDF file, SharePoint folder, all these things. Okay. And if you have multiple buttons on the left side, this is all. Once you click on file, what kind of files does it support? So it is more convenient way, because mine is a file, I can directly pick Excel sheet or text CSV, all these things. If I want to connect to any database, what kind of databases? Is it only Microsoft SQL Server, or is it Oracle database? Is it Postgres database, or or it is Snowflake? Any database that is available in the market, they support that, because that is how it is. And Microsoft Fabric, this is new from Power BI. We will explore this if there is an option at the end. And then Power Platform, this is also again from our Microsoft only. Azure is as well a Microsoft product. Online services, and then other. Whatever does not classify into this, they have stored it in other, like if you want to take Spark, Microsoft Exchange, Hadoop file, all these things. This is too much of detail. Right now it is not needed. So let's go to all. I want to choose the Excel workbook. Let me click on this, click on connect. It'll open a pop-up for me. You should navigate to the folder that it is sitting in, this customers file. So it was sitting on my desktop in PBI tutorial. So you go into this, I want to take this customers data. Click on this, click on open. It's as simple as that. You stop me if you have any questions. Okay. So now if I go into this customer sheet again, okay, the sheet is named as sheet 1. That's why Microsoft is showing us sheet 1. Okay. If if the sheet wasn't sheet 1, if it was customer, let me rename this, close it, because we have already opened this, it is still showing as sheet 1. I will click on cancel, go back. If I click on this button, instead of going here, I can click on this also. Import data from Excel, my customers Excel sheet. I select on this. Now you will get it as customer instead of sheet 1. Okay. Whatever it is written in that file, it will reflect over here. I want to select this. It will show you a preview wherein some few rows of records will be showed here. You can click on load data, or you can click on transform data, or you can click on cancel. Cancel doesn't import anything into it. If you load, data will be loaded. And if you want to directly transform, you can directly transform. But let's load the data and then I will go into transformation of this data. Okay. The data is getting loaded. Okay. 1,000 rows of records were there. If you see, this ribbon button, as I told you, is very similar to our Excel sheet. We will explore all these buttons one by one once we cover slowly all the topics, and you will definitely use almost all the buttons. And this is where is the publish. We will do definitely Monday. Once we create a report, once we publish, we can share the links, how it looks, and all those things. If you see here, this was the sheet that we just imported. Okay. And if you see, these are the columns that are present in that Excel sheet. First name, last name. These are just ordered basing on the alphabetical order. But in that Excel sheet, first name was first and last name was second. Okay. So if you see here, for few columns, there is no summarize sign in front of it. Okay. But for few columns, there is a summarize sign automatically populated by Power BI. Okay. What is the difference between these columns and what is the difference between these columns? Why there is a summarize sign in front of it? That is the question. And if you see, for this registered, there is some calendar button in front of it. Why there is a calendar button? We will see. What is that? What is that present within that column? The good part about Power BI is it is intelligent enough to understand what is the data, what kind of column it is. And sometimes it is too much intelligent as well. It will do some wrong prediction, like age. See, age of a person, if you want to add with other person's age, it doesn't make any sense. So age is individual specific. So Abhishek, if I'm 30 years or someone is 32 years or someone is 25 years, so I cannot sum all people's age and I cannot make some prediction, but I can make it into buckets. Okay, how many people are attending this session between the age of 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35? We can make it into buckets. Age cannot be summed. Okay, orders, yeah, might be this can be summed. And spent, yeah, amount spent definitely can be summed. So how to transform age not to sum? Okay, now before going into transformation of the data, On the top left hand side, if you see this Power BI desktop, I did not save yet. Okay, and I did not even sign in as well. I did not even register on Microsoft yet because I just installed other day for this session. So if I have to sign in, I just need to give my credentials. And because this is for free, once you install, there is a limitation for free and there is a price for everything. So if you see, what is the difference between the price that we are getting? For a moment, you can ignore this Microsoft Fabric because that is the latest thing introduced by Power BI. Power BI Desktop is free. But what you can do in a Power BI Pro? So in a Power BI Pro, individual users with modern self-service analytics for publishing reports and dashboards and viewing content across your organization. This is a pro license. So if Abhishek is working in an org, he's developing some kind of reports and publishing it onto the server of Power BI. Once he publishes, he can share these reports with anyone within the team. So majorly within an org, what they will do, they will give pro license to the developers and even to many other people as well. And the price wouldn't be the same because they are selling to orgs, the price might be at a discounted price. But if today I want to buy Power BI Pro, I need to pay around 800 rupees in Indian currency. But if you are from UK or USA or some other country, the price would be different according to the region. And what I can do on Power BI Pro, I can publish or share Power BI reports. Power BI Pro is included in Microsoft 365, available to buy now with a credit card. I can buy with a credit card because what these people will do, they want to make it as an auto debit. And this 800 rupees is per user per month. So for me, if I want to buy this license, I need to pay 785.3 rupees per month. What is Power BI Premium? So now Power BI Pro, there is a data limitation as well. In Power BI Pro, in the server where I'm publishing these reports, I will have only 10 GB space available. Okay. But for a Power BI Premium, if you see, this will have more than 10 GB. It will be around 100 GB or something. I don't know the exact number, but that is what it is. So Power BI Premium, it comes at a price of 1570.6 per month per user. What is the difference between these two? Includes all the features available with Power BI Pro. It is same to Power BI Pro. Additional Power BI Premium features, wherein we have access to larger data size model, more frequent refresh, XML read and write, deployment pipelines, and other enterprise features. So this deployment pipelines, it is very much specific to continuous integration and continuous assessment, that too in DevOps. So once we publish any report onto Power BI server, am I going too much like, I mean, are you understanding the session or I need to
Yes, yes,
slow down a bit?
I'm understanding.
Okay. So you understood now what is a Power BI Pro and Premium. So there is a
Yes.
limitation, like for the money that you pay, you will get the service. So what will happen, no? When you use a Power BI Pro and you publish onto the server, you will get 10 GB of space. But when you publish through Power BI Premium, you will get 100 GB of space. When I talk about space, I will show you when we build this report on Power BI with customers' data, 1000 rows only. It is very small. How much of data that is consuming? Okay. Now once we publish this onto the server, we will have something called as refresh button on Power BI server directly. So Amina need not sit in the office and click on this button of refresh. So what you can do, it will ask for your credentials over there when you're working in an org. Once you certify your credentials in the server, Microsoft server, what will happen? No, you can set a specific time when to update this model that you have built. Like suppose Indian time 5 o'clock or US time EST something like 12 o'clock in the midnight, you can select the time that you want to update. And you can update within a day one time, and like you can update on multiple days. Like you want to select Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You can select over there. We will see it once I publish it onto the server. You can select the day over there, and then you autom you can leave it over there. Once you certify your credentials, select the day and leave it over there. What will Microsoft do on its own when that day and that particular time comes up? It will update the report. So what will happen basing on the data? Today, this customer's data is having only 100 records, 1000 records of data. Suppose tomorrow 5 more records got added into this Excel. So it is 1005. What will happen? It will update the data and automatically the visualizations that you have built will get updated. So you need not do it on your own manually. You can automate things over there. And for this Power BI Premium, when they say it has more frequent refreshes, you will get you can do 3 hours once a refresh or 5 hours once a refresh. But it comes with a cost. So it is upon the organization how much of license that they want to pay. Okay. So for you, for learning, there is no need for any payment. You can just download for free. Good part is that. So as I told you, I did not save it yet, but let me save this file first. Save as. I can browse on this device. I can go into that desktop PBI tutorial. Let me name this as customer report. Default at the bottom is PBIX. This is the extension for Power BI file. Save. Okay. Now on the left hand side, we see very three important buttons visible over here. These are very important. I'll tell you why. This is report view. This is called as canvas, report canvas, where you can visualize the data. Suppose just I will pick the first name. You go to data, select first name in default. What will happen? There will be a small box that has opened and it is loading. If you see, the first name within that Excel sheet has loaded. If I select last name also, you see first name, last name both get loaded, and you can do a lot of modifications. So this is just the report view. Whatever visualization that you are making is happening, and in default, whenever you are selecting any data, it will take up table view. These are the visualizations that you can pick. We will go one after the other. It will default when you are selecting the data to table view. Power BI is intelligent in that space. And then this is report view. The next button is table view. So what is this? This will show you first 1000 records within your file. My Excel sheet, which I just opened some time back, the first name, last name, email, phone, address, and all those things, it has opened here. Okay. Now, if you see, it is telling that these are the 1000 rows that I'm showing on the screen right now. Okay. If there were more than 1000 rows, even though it will default to 1000 rows only, and if you want to see the entire set of data, you will get a click option here and it will say view entire data. But I would encourage not to view the entire data here, because you just need to get a feel and look what kind of columns are present, so you can make the transformations within your data. So 1000 is sufficient. If you see, this is first name, last name, email, phone, address, and all this thing. This is good. So here you get to see how is your data looking. Then the third button is called as model view. Right now, once I click on it, mine is just a single sheet data. So you are having only one sheet's representation over here, this small box. If I add more than one sheet, what will happen? No, you will get it as one more. Let's do that as well. Let me do that. I will go to this customer sheet. Okay, and then let me, what data I can put over there? Mail, address, phone number, region is there. Okay, assume these people are from. Okay, I get it. I get it. Let's take this data. Let me put it over here. Go to data, text columns. I'm just cooking up some data. 1 second, bear with me. Shh. Hmm. Why it doesn't load? Okay, there is something wrong with this text to columns here. Let me do this. If ky a h yes a and these are the states of United States. The data is not getting split properly. There is some issue with the data. So what I will do, I will take this state information here, delete this address over here. Okay, and then the common column is the first name and the last name. Take it over here. Okay, and the state I can put it at the last. Stop me if you're not understanding what I'm doing. I'm just cooking data so that I will show you how a view looks in this one. Okay, model view. We can get one more table over there, which is interesting. State. Okay, let's format this similar to what it is, and then done. Okay, I updated my Excel sheet. Okay, and still I don't see anything because I did not refresh this sheet. There is a button called as refresh. Okay, if I click on this refresh button, does that extra sheet which I added as state reflect into this Power BI? Yes or no? No, it won't refresh. But let's refresh and see what will happen. So I clicked on this refresh button. It will refresh the data. So it has added just the 1,000 rows. If I want to get that extra sheet also, what I need to do, I need to go to get data, Excel workbook, customers, because I did not make the selections for that state sheet yet. Once it loads, now you see the state also is showing up here. I want to use customer data. I want to use state data. I will load the data. Now there is a small issue over here. Now, because I loaded customer data again, this data is showing as customer 2 and state data got loaded. So I don't want this customer 2 data again. So what you can do, you can delete from the model. Yes. So customer 2 is deleted. Now the state data is also reflecting over here. In the canvas, I did not make any selection from state data. In the model view, table view, if you see, this is how the customer data looks because it is highlighted over here. If you highlight onto the state, it will show you the state data because now if you see column 1, column 2, column 3, but actually the headers over there I gave it as first name, last name, state, but that isn't showing over here. That there's an issue. Okay, we will fix that. We will see that in transform data. And then model view, this is where it is very good. So now this is my customer data, first sheet, and then this is my state data. But the problem over here is it is showing as column 1, column 2, column 3, which doesn't make sense to me. I gave it as first name, last name, and all those things. So let's transform the data and then make the connection between two different sheets, customer sheet and the state sheet, so that we will have more possible insights. Okay. Now, how can I transform the data? You need to go to canvas and then in the home button, you have something called as transform data. You can click on this. Okay,
I have a question. So why is it
go ahead.
showing like column 1, column 2? Like why is it
I
not
will show
giving
you.
the?
I will show you. So
Okay.
sometimes I told you, no, like Power BI is too intelligent. Sometimes it will
Mm-hmm.
do that mistake. And I created that sheet. Might be it did not understand how I created and what is the column. So that
Mm.
is where many times what will happen. No, you need to go into transform data and you need to pick the row that is your header. Okay. So I
Mm.
will show you now. That is where we are going into transform data. Now, customer sheet header row is fine. First name, last name, email, phone, everything is showing properly for me. Okay. Now, if I go into state, what has happened? You see here, first name, last name, state. It is reflected. But what has happened? Power BI did not understand these are my headers. So how you can make this into your first row? That is your question. And how can I make also? So here, the good part is because this happens with Power BI, they gave a direct shortcut here. Use first row as header. If you click on this, your row will be promoted to header. First name, last name, state. Okay. And now in this transform data, you have many things over here: new source, recent source, enter data, and then you have keep rows, remove rows, all those. We will see one after the other. And if you want to transform some data, you can do here. Add a column, we will see now. Then on the right side, we have multiple steps here. So where is it coming from? Navigation, change the type of it. It has automatically figured the type of data, text to text to text. And we have promoted this first column to be row, first row to be the column, and then change type automatically it has figured it out. Now, this is good. Until now, it is good. In the customer data, I told that age was being summed. I don't want that to happen. How you can modify? Now, in each and every column, if you see in front of the column name, there is a notation, denotation as well. ABC. ABC means this is a string field, text field. Last name, text field, which is correct. Email also text field. Phone number, it is showing as ABC, which is decent enough because I don't want to add or some phone numbers. It doesn't make any sense. Let it leave it as text only. And address field, it is anyways text field. Gender, text field. Now, what Power BI has automatically done is it has figured out that age column is number column, which is good. But I don't want to sum the data from age. So what I can do, select this column and modify the data to be text field. Okay. Once you click on this, it is still holding 1, 2, 3. What is it asking? The selected column is an existing type conversion. Would you like to replace the existing conversion or preserve the existing conversion and add a new conversion as a separate step? No, I just want to replace. What will happen? Now this 1, 2, 3 will change to ABC because we have changed it to a text. Okay. Now what is this button of calendar in front of it? Because this is belonging to dates, Power BI understood that this is a date column and it has named it as a calendar. This field as a calendar field, which is good. Leave it over there. We will see the complications of calendar when we go to the further steps of tags and everything, where there will be many places where dates will not be recognized. We need to the most difficult thing in programming or visualization or anything is playing with date field only, because that will be not recognized properly. Orders, let's leave it as a number. And the amount spent, if you see 1 to 3 means this is numbers. Okay. If you see here, the amount field is showing as 1.2. What is the type of it? How you can get to know the type of the field is here there is a formula field, if you see. Okay. And you have a button to click here. You can click here, and if you see spent, okay, it is considered as a number. Okay, good. Now what number it has been considered as? Change type. Right now, because amount was having decimal numbers, Power BI did auto configure it to decimal number. or you can take fixed decimal number or whole number. So let's change it to fixed decimal number. Okay. Now you see everything got two decimal places only. If I change it to previous one, previously for few records, whatever the number was there, 1, 2, 6, 59, 17, 96. This this particular 6, if you notice 834.6, when I change it to fixed decimal number, it is making everything into two decimal numbers. Okay, 83.60, which is good. Let it be. Let's consider fixed decimal number. And then this job is text field. Obviously is text field. Is married or not, it is showing as a flag field, which is also good because the data will be saved for us. And then this ordered field, good. It has, I just added the data something random over there. So now this ordered field, if you see, might be you're able to notice or not, here is married and hobbies, this particular green line, it is fully green. Are you noticing it? Are you
Yes.
able to notice?
Yes.
But in the ordered field, it is not fully green. There is some red at the last. Why
Mm-hmm.
is it? Because when you hover onto the field, if you see, when I hover onto hobbies here, onto the green line, it is saying this is a valid field, 100% valid. 1,000 rows of data are there. And your error is 0% and empty rows are 0. But in your ordered field, when I hover onto this green line, 99% is valid, 0% is error, but 9 rows are empty. Okay. If you recall, I made intentionally few rows to be null. Okay. Now I want to fix that. Let me do something. Okay. Replace values. You just need to go here, right click, replace values, or let me show you nulls first of all. If you click on this filter button on beside this one, these are nulls. Okay, let's click on this null rows, right click, replace values. You just need to type null, replace with what? um, okay, no, not a zero because that is a text field. Replace with don't know. Okay, then click on OK. You see, null has replaced with don't know. And then I will unfilter everything. I will remove this filtered rows here. Okay. Now, if you go back to orders, see that null has vanished. Okay. Now, if in this NA, this don't know is reflecting over here. In this NA, I don't want NA as well. I want to modify this to don't know. So, if you would have noticed here, Amina, before filtering this rows, in this applied step, I was not having this filtered rows. Okay. If I remove this filtered rows, it will show me my 1,000 lines of data. Okay. But if you apply any filter on top of it, like suppose I want to filter for burger, it will add that step that we are doing in Power BI here. So if Abhishek is developing this model, tomorrow Amina is coming and developing this model again. Once she comes to transform data, she clicks on a particular table, she will know what all Abhishek has done. So if you see, you can click on replaced values. You will see, okay, I replaced null with don't know. Okay. And then filtered rows. What did I do? I filtered for burger. Okay. So what will happen? Every step that we do in transform data, Power BI will show it here. Whatever step you perform, it will show it over here. So now let's go back. Let's unfilter this. If you want to remove this, you can unfilter here, or you can delete this particular step. Once I delete this, you can go here what I want to do, replace NA with don't know. Okay. Now, if you go back to your data, there is a one more step that has been placed. So replaced value 1. If you see in replaced value 1, I've replaced NA with don't know. In replaced value, I replaced nulls with don't know. And then now, if you go back to your data, see, one second, let me come back to the last step. Now you go here, click on this. I don't have any NA. Okay, clear? You understood this thing? Like how you can replace the data and how the steps are reflecting here.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, if you see this ordered column also, this is a complete green now. And if you hover onto this green line, it is nothing is empty and there is no error. We will see errors when we play with some kind of data. Okay. And it's a good thing that Power BI in transform data, for each and every column, it will tell you how healthy each and every column is. The more the green, the good the data. But in a practical scenario, this will be not this green. You will have a lot of errors in a number column. You will have text fields. In a text column, you will have numbers as well, and there will be nulls as well. Instead of null, there will be NA also. You need to transform data a lot to make it better. So once you fix the issues, your column will turn into green. Why? If you ask me, do I need to do it? Yes. To make good insights, you need to have good data. If you don't have good data, your insights will be wrong. And if I go to state, I promoted the header as first name, last name, state using the use first rows as header. And if you see this first name, last name, state. Now I am having first name and last name as separate field. I want to combine this and make it as a full name. So what I can do, I can go to customer table and there is a tab called add column. We will see all the buttons once we progress through the sessions, but for making it into a single column, what you can do, go to add column. I want to make a custom column. Okay. And then what I want to do, first name, ampersand, last name. Okay. So what is the new column name? I want to name it as full name. Take the same whatever was there previously. Full name, first name and last name. Okay, I'm just is equal to first name and last name. So it is telling no syntax error have been detected. Suppose you would have given first name comma last name. You see token EOF expected. What is it? It is telling there is some error. You click on show error, might be it will redirect to a website and tell you what is the error. Okay, but to combine two columns, you need to use ampersand, first name and last name. I will click on OK. Now, let's see. Full name column is created here. But the problem is I did not get any space in between. I want to add that as well. So what I can do, this added custom, if you double click on this, it will open that window. What I can do, I will give a space in between, ampersand. I will give quotes and give space. One second. Some issues there. Hmm, now it is working, double quotes. So when I gave single quotes, it did not work. So it is taking only double quotes here. I want to give an underscore in between, ampersand, underscore, ampersand, last name. So if I click on OK, now you see Joseph underscore Rice. But I don't want an underscore in between for the full name. So what I can do again, go back to added custom, double click on it, go here, remove this underscore. I want to give a space between double quotes. Click on OK. Okay. Now you see Joseph Rice. This is looking good. Okay. Now this full name is created over here. Okay. Similar way, I will do the same for state as well. Go to state. It is default on add column, custom column, full name is equal to first name. I can just pick it from here. First name, ampersand, double quotes, space, ampersand, last name. Click OK. Now your full name is added over here. Okay, good part. Now in the view of time, let's play with the data tomorrow, but we will make the relationship now. I will click how to save this transformations that you have made until now. You should go into home button, close and apply. So what will happen? Your data will get updated now. So there is this ribbon on the top, yellow color, which will say there has been some changes and I'm updating it. So if you come to this customer box, I mean the customer data, you will see full name column reflecting. And even in the state also, you will have full name column reflecting. And if you remember, age is not anymore having this summarize button in front of it because I changed this to a text field. But the other two columns are having this summarize button. We will see why that summarize is important for us. Now going into model view. Now, if you remember, Amina, previously we did not have this first name, full name, last name here. It was column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay. Now I want to make the relationship between this customer and state. What I can do, I can scroll down. I can make the join based on full name. Drag from full name to full name. So what it is doing, customer table full name, state table full name, because there are multiple duplicates in both the sheets, it is doing a many to many transformation. Click on OK. So now if you see, because it has made a many to many transformation, it is showing star on both the sides, or else it would have showed 1 to star or star to 1. We will discuss in the next session tomorrow. So any questions until now, or you understood?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so we will progress. We will play with this data tomorrow as well, and then
Mm-hmm.
we will make visualizations on it. If you
Okay.
feel you want only theoretical sessions, you can tell me, or you are liking it in the more practical session, which will add to your on job, like whatever you
Mm.
learn here, you can go and implement it over there. You can tell me, we can continue with practical sessions, or
Mm.
if you want only theory, you tell me, we will go with theory
No,
only.
no, I would prefer the practical session.
Okay.
Also like after the training, how many years can I put on my resume, like experience wise?
Okay, good question, but I need to understand actually, like, what are you doing currently and what you would like to do. Let me stop the recording because that is kind of, one second.
Okay, sure.